Welcome to Shadow, a podcast that delves deep into the hidden corners of our psyche, exploring the darker, often repressed aspects of ourselves. Join your host, Bernard Alvarez, as he guides us on a transformative journey of self-discovery and personal growth. Bernard is a spiritual influencer, certified Reiki master, and seasoned teacher of shamanic, magical, and earth-based practices. With his profound insights and compassionate guidance, Bernard helps us confront our inner darkness, embrace our shadow, and ultimately illuminate our true selves. Prepare to uncover, understand, and transform as we step into the depths of shadow.
Hey, my friends, welcome. I want to start today by saying thank you. Truly, thank you for walking with me through this journey. Whether this is your first episode or you've been here from the start, your presence, your willingness to explore the depths, and your courage to sit in the dark with me means the world. This is the final episode of Shadow. And I knew from the very beginning that if we were going to explore the hard stuff, the raw, gritty, uncomfortable truths of ourselves, we had to end with transformation, not perfection, not enlightenment on a mountaintop, but transformation. Because that's what happens when you face the darkness and choose to love it instead of fear it. Today's episode is called Transforming the Shadow, Turning Darkness into Light. And in it, we're going to talk about what it really means to integrate the shadow and how we begin to live as whole, balanced beings with all of our parts at the table. So, take a breath with me. Let's dive in. So let's review the basics. What is the shadow? The shadow is all the parts of ourselves that we were taught to hide, the grief that made others uncomfortable, the anger that got us punished, the sexuality that didn't fit the script, the wildness, the fear, the pain, the gifts that weren't welcomed. And here's the thing. When we disown these parts, we don't get rid of them. We just push them underground. They go into the unconscious, but they don't disappear. They come out sideways, in projection, in self-sabotage, in toxic relationships, in anxiety, in depression. So the first step toward integration is recognizing my shadow isn't the enemy, it's the exile. Integration starts with an invitation, and that invitation sounds something like this. I'm ready to meet the parts of me I've hidden. I'm ready to be in relationship with the whole of who I am. Now, that doesn't mean excusing harm or justifying toxic behavior, but it does mean that instead of judging these aspects, we sit down with them and get curious. Think of it like inviting all your inner parts to a round table. You've got your wise self sitting at the head, and the rest of the table is filled with shadowy guests. The inner critic, the addict, the scared child, the one who never trusts anyone, the angry one, the people pleaser, the warrior, the seducer, and you, the wise self, say, "You're welcome here. Let's talk." That's where healing begins. So, let's talk about how we do this work in real life. How do we actually begin to turn the darkness into light? Here are 5 methods I've used in my own life and with the people I've walked with on this path. Dialogue with the shadow. One of the most effective tools is journaling or inner dialogue. You ask your shadow part a question, something like, "What are you afraid of?" Or, "When did you start feeling this way?" And then let that part answer. You'll be amazed at what comes through. The shadow wants to speak. It wants to be seen and heard, not exiled. Give it a voice. Mirror work and affirmations. Standing in front of a mirror and saying, "I see you, I accept you. Even this part of me is worthy of love," can be profoundly uncomfortable, but also profoundly healing. Look yourself in the eyes, not the curated version, the real, messy, feeling full version, and offer compassion. Because here's the secret. Self-love doesn't mean loving yourself instead of your shadow. It means loving yourself, including your shadow. Somatic work. The body holds the shadow. Trauma, grief, rage, they live in the muscles, the belly, the jaw, the breath, movement, dance, breath work, yoga, even primal screaming in your car if you have to. These practices help you release what the mind can't always name. Let your body speak. Let it shake. Let it sob. Let it remember. This is how the dark gets metabolized. Ritual and ceremony. As a priest and ceremonialist, I know how powerful this is. Create space for the shadow to be acknowledged ritually. Light a black candle for your grief. Write a letter to your rage and burn it. Craft a chant for your inner child's safety. Ritual lets us move energy in sacred space, so the psyche doesn't have to carry it alone. Integration through relationship. Lastly, shadow work doesn't happen in a vacuum. It's relational. The parts of us that were wounded in relationship are often healed in relationship. So if someone mirrors your shadow, if they trigger your abandonment wound or poke at your need for control, pause. Ask yourself, what is this person revealing to me about myself? That doesn't mean tolerate abuse or disrespect, but it does mean that your shadow will often appear through the mirror of others. And every mirror is an invitation. Now, I want to talk about something sacred, because when you do this work, when you welcome your shadow home, something beautiful begins to happen, a kind of alchemy. You don't become perfect, but you become whole. You become someone who walks through life with awareness, compassion, and authenticity. You stop being afraid of your feelings. You stop blaming others for your pain. You start taking ownership, not just of your light, but of your depth. And that, my friends, is liberation. When the light meets the shadow, we become radiant and real. We become the medicine the world needs. People who have walked into their own darkness and come out with gold in their hands. So, as we close this series, I want to leave you with this. Your shadow is not a flaw, it's a doorway, a bridge, a teacher. Every fear, every wound, every part of you you thought made you unworthy is just waiting to be loved back into the circle. This work is not easy, but it is sacred. And you're not doing it alone. I'm right here with you. So are the ancestors. So is the earth. So is every other human who's ever looked their shadow in the eye and whispered, I'm ready. Keep walking, beautiful soul. Keep loving the parts you were taught to fear. And remember, you are the light in the darkness. Thank you for walking this path with me. Until we meet again, may you walk in truth. May you love in wholeness. And may your shadow always lead you home.
Shadow is created by Bernard Alvarez and brought to you by the generosity of our supporting members. Thank you for your continued support and dedication.
Thank you so much for watching, my friends. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends. And if you'd like to unlock some amazing exclusive perks like special classes, meditations, courses, and more, consider becoming a supporting member of my channel. Just click subscribe on Facebook or join on YouTube. I love you, friends, and I'll see you next time.